Hey, welcome back to Feel the Flow. I'm Carlo Francesco.
And I'm Ethan.
And on this episode, we're going to be talking about Season 3, Mandalorian. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back, everyone. All right, Season 3, man. What are you thinking?
I don't know. I think I'm still processing the whole season. I was just, thinking about all the episodes and everything. And I think this was, personally for me, the most mixed bag for the whole series in general. I think that it had ups and downs for me, where I feel the past two seasons have been very consistent for me, and I liked it all the way through. I think this season definitely had some episodes where I didn't really care for it.
Yeah, there was a couple fillers in there. I can agree with that. A couple of fillers. But I can't agree with some of what I was reading on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, some of the audience kind of pooped on it a little bit. So it was
the
like
audience, surprisingly. Usually it's like critics that would do that, but this was the audience. So yeah, that was definitely something I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. No, but overall, I mean, it's the Mandalorian. If you're a Star Wars fan, like we are, and we just like movies in general. But if you're a Star Wars fan, you're really gonna like it. And there was some fillers in there. Like I think it was episode 6.
Yeah, chapter 22, Guns for Hire. That was the one where they introduced Jack Black and Lizzo as the couple.
I was kind of disappointed with that one. I didn't really care for it too much.
Yeah, I didn't care for it either. And it's not that I don't like those actors / singers. They're very talented people, but I just think that in general in Hollywood, they need to stop casting popular people just for cameos.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's like they cast Jack Black just because he's Jack Black.
Because he's Jack Black. You're bringing the audience. It shocked me because I wasn't expecting him to be in it. So I was like, what the hell is Jack Black doing in Star Wars movie?
And I just feel like I think it just didn't fit the tone. Because then, towards the end of the episode, it got to a whole different tone. And it got super serious real quick. So I think it just it didn't balance those two tones very well.
Yeah,
I think it went from super goofy to super serious, and it didn't have a right blend in there.
Yeah, that wasn't a really good episode. I don't know why Disney was thinking about what were they thinking about putting that all together like that.
Yeah,
and just took away from the storyline, the continuity of the story. It just took it and ripped it apart and.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I even told you, I when we were, you'd come over and watched it, I was like, I shut it off.
Yeah.
There was that certain point, I was just like, I'll come back to it because I'm just not in the mood for this right now. And I was just so blown away by it. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, anything about it. I'll go back to it and then, so.
Yeah. I hear you.
But overall, I know you said, we can get our gripes out of the way first. I know you were saying you didn't really care for the pirates in this season.
No, I didn't care for the pirates. Pirates really... I don't know. It's just the costumes and everything. I don't know. Just
because they first showed up in the first episode.
Yes, they did. Yes, then they were in the bar.
Yeah. They came up to the bar and who was he called? The guy who runs the whole town of Navarro.
Jeez. I keep seeing Apollo Creed. That's what
but anyway, the high magistrate.
The magistrate. They call him now. They call him the magistrate now.
Yeah. So his character, I know, he took over and he's turning a new front.
Yeah.
They trying to do good now, and he got rid of all the bars. He turned into a nice livable community on the planet Navarro. So, but I know you were saying you didn't really care for the pirates when they showed up, just because their looks, and then. I know you didn't really care for the pirate, chapter 21, the pirate episode.
No, I didn't at all.
Mm-hmm. You just not for you, really.
Everybody gonna look at me on YouTube. No, I don't know. It just I didn't like the costumes. I think it was more of the costumes.
Okay.
It really got me. I don't know why. I just kind of when I watched it twice, and I'm like, maybe I'm just being over.
Yeah.
And I was like, I watched it again. I'm like, I don't like these guys. I just didn't like the characters. I'm a big Star Wars fan, but I just thought the characters just didn't fit for me for Star Wars.
Yeah. You said Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean and crossed over with Star Wars here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with you. I didn't hate them as much, or I didn't dislike them as much. I thought the pirate episode was actually really cool when you had all the Mandalorians. What I liked about that is that the New Republic, there's so many restrictions. It's almost like an unfair system, and you have these independent planets that are still being sabotaged by the Empire.
Yeah,
and these independent planets that can't defend themselves.
They can't defend themselves. I like that,
and I thought that was cool how you had the fighter and then the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I like the way they put that in there like that. I like the way. Hold on here. Headphones are backwards. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, I like the way they did that. They showed like how the Empire is squeezing the smaller planets still because they're trying to keep their control. And, and I guess it's going to turn into the new years later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so yeah, and they have some of the old equipment and stuff, and it's amazing. Like all these rebels are grabbing all this old technology.
Yeah,
I guess their technology was really good. I mean, for the Empire. So you can see where it's going to swing. You can see where because it was 15 years after Return of the Jedi. So. Yeah, you can see where it's going to swing, and something else is going to happen. I don't know. I mean, I thought the Mandalorian was just going to end, and they're going to go on and move on. But it looks like it's going to continue.
It's going to continue, especially how it ended.
Yeah.
I won't jump there yet because I know we're going to save the last couple episodes for our bulk of this episode. But yeah, I think I definitely can see what you're saying, and where it's heading with the Mandalorians into the future of the Empire. Not anymore really, but. Where it's going from there. Yep. So I thought the introduction of the season started off pretty strong, getting to see the characters again and just be reintroduced for another time, which was good. I really liked the second episode, which was The Mines of Mandalore. And that's like where we get a lot of stuff. I think that was a huge segue into the future of the Mandalorians. The second episode of the season.
I really enjoyed that episode. That episode was really good. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one when he went into the mines and
and then you had all those creatures that I think they call them there was something they were the white creatures with the 4 eyes, and they had
people are gonna come on and say they are called.
Yeah, if you know, I'm having a blank right now, but if you know what they're called, just drop it in the comments.
It's funny when we're talking, we like everything's shooting off our heads like nothing, and then all of a sudden we get on to record, and we're like, we stop.
Well, I mean, you have like 10,000 different names in Star Wars for all these creatures. It's kind of hard to remember every single one.
Yeah, usually we have our notes sitting in front of us, and I'm like looking around, trying, oh god, I should take some notes.
But then you have that creature that captures the Mandalorian, which is pretty cool. I like that. I thought he reminded me of almost like a General Grievous. He had like the human eye, but then he was all robotic.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, it looked like he was some kind of creature that turned robotic. And, but he only had one eye, didn't he?
Yeah, he only had one eye. Yeah, but he had
cool.
The electric staff. That was awesome.
That was cool, man. Yeah, like I said, I liked that episode. I like when he went into the mines, and then the episode after that is when he did he get rescued in the same one, right?
He got rescued.
Yeah, in the same one. So so remember, guys, we're trying to jam all this together.
Yeah, so the whole season
together because we didn't come on and do one at a time. We should have. Next time we know better to do one at a time.
Yeah,
but we were too busy to get that done. A lot of stuff going on, but I like the way she went in there and she said at first I didn't know he sunk to the bottom. Remember I started.
Well, actually, that's good that you bring it up because that was going to be one of my points is asking you again if you thought like he got dragged down by the mythosaur or if he fell, which I think he sank down.
Yeah,
I think the weight of his armor and everything.
I think the weight of his armor sunk him down. Yeah. Yeah.
But then you had a point too where like Bo-Katan was flying down with her jetpack and she didn't fall as fast as he did, so it's like
I mean she went down. He went down pretty quick. Then
he did. Like he went.
She had to go like really far to get to him. So
and she was using her.
That's
jetpack.
why I thought something dragged his butt down to the bottom.
Yeah.
But he said he slipped and fell and went to the bottom. I guess he just couldn't. He took his backpack off.
Yeah,
that's why he was so heavy. Yeah. He took his backpack off. I remember now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that was cool. That that was our introduction to the mythosaur.
Yeah, the mythosaur. He's real. That's cool because we get back that at the end. They actually show him again, and I was like, "That's awesome. That was just awesome. Mm-hmm. Beautiful show. Beautiful show."
I think that was at the moment. So like going from like one, I liked episode 1. And then episode 2, I think that was my favorite so far, like going off the first 2. And then we got into chapter 19, which is episode 3, the convert, which is where we see the doctor and we see the the Imperials, like they're the former Imperial troopers. Well, not troopers, but like the people who worked for the Empire.
The
right?
Empire.
Was it the Empire? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. I'm like having brain farts all over today, but. Well, no, because I keep thinking Imperial equipment, like their Imperial ships, this and that. But for the Empire, but you see all the former people that worked for the Empire, and then you see the Doctor who was the clone.
The clone, yeah.
Yeah, he cloned. He did all the cloning. Yep. Which sets us up for the end of the show, which is cool. And that was my question: is we spent so much time with the Doctor, and then the other girl who was still working for the Empire.
Yeah.
But that was cool. I thought that was just like very intriguing to see where all the former, workers for the Empire were going after that, and they were starting to work for the New Republic and everything, and how they were on Coruscant, which was that planet where they all were stationed and everything.
That was
cool.
It was pretty cool.
It was cool to see what was happening, like the aftermath of the Empire falling.
Yes.
And seeing where all
because we'd never really seen what happened after it fell. So this is good that the Mandalorian's covering all of the things that happen after Return of the Jedi. So we don't really know whether it just jumps into another.
Yeah. Exactly.
Another 30 years later or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it does because Luke is old at that time. When it jumps.
Ray. Han Solo's old and everything.
Han Solo's old. He's trying to run. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah.
But I thought that was intriguing.
Yeah,
that's where I was going with that. I jumbled my words a lot, but
that's okay, man. I'm jumbling mine too. It's been a long day. We're recording after work. You going to work? I just got out of work, so it gets hard. It's hard to get me and try to remember all this stuff, especially when we watched it just last night. Too. It's still fresh in our mind.
Well, it's like that one episode, but now we got to think back.
Yeah,
5, 6, 7 episodes.
The last episode's fresh in my mind. So
that would be.
So now we're trying to jump back and try to remember. It's just a lot.
Yeah. So that pretty much wrapped up episode 3. We spent a lot of time with the Doctor, and at the end of that, he gets his mind scrambled from the girl. I forgot her name. I don't know her name. Was evil. But she was. I was so mad. I was like, I was really hoping she was gonna turn a new leaf and actually start helping and they could start making a difference. And then she scrambles his mind, and I'm like, oh. You just get out of here. It's just you always have that one annoyance character, and I think she was it for me.
Yeah.
It's just because the Doctor wanted to do good too.
Yeah.
And he knew what he was doing before was wrong, and he didn't ever get a chance to change that. So
yeah.
But it is what it is.
So So I think knocking him off was because of the cloning. Then we'll get back into that because I think the last episode really runs into that.
Yeah, definitely.
So and why the Doctor was killed off, and So we'll get to that. Where we at now?
We're at episode 4, chapter 20, The Foundling.
The Foundling,
I thought that was pretty cool. That was when they go back to the hideout, the Mandalorian hideout, Bo-Katan and the Mandalorian and the Foundling, the kid, what is his name? The armor,
yeah,
the big one.
The big,
not the armor, but the big heavy machinery guy.
Yeah, and they took the bird took his kid and shit. With a bird. Look at it. We're like, we're really Star Wars right now.
Yeah,
the bird.
The bird.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't even know. I know you like the
right now. I'm like you. I'm scrambled brained right now. It's like trying to jumble all the because everything's coming quick and fast and it's like because they're going to be zipping out movies all the time now. So we got to keep up with all these names. Like you said, there's a lot to keep up with.
Star Wars is just so expansive. You have so many creatures and species and this. And I'm like,
you're talking 30
I
years.
like it, but I am not a diehard fan.
Oh, man.
I like Star Wars and I enjoy it and I enjoy talking about it. But when it gets into the nitty gritty and you're talking about every single detail, I can't remember all.
Well, so except because we talk. When I remembered, when I was little and when Star Wars came out, and, and everybody the lines to go see it, and it was just amazing. It was crazy how that movie took off.
Yeah,
it was that year was a great year. It was a lot of great movies that year, but Star Wars stole the show.
Yeah,
it really did. And it was because we never seen anything like that. It was just, it was, whew. That just blew your mind. And I was like, what, 8? I think 8 or 9. I think I was 8 or 9 years old. I think it was 78, 77.
Wow.
I think it came out in 77, but it went to all theaters in 78.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think would happen. But because I think I seen it around that time, around 78.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I remember sitting in line with my sister. She took me to go see it. Yeah. And I was sold. And I still, I don't know how many times after that.
Yeah.
I was just in awe.
That's
know,
awesome.
I mean, because movies back then were really corny. They're talking about the 70s, man. Movies weren't great. You look back and I watched some of the movies that I used to love when I was a kid. Now I'm like, what the hell was I watching?
Yeah.
But even Star Wars, you look at it, it's really corny.
Yeah.
It really is. It's somewhat corny. Yeah.
Cooler,
I mean, listen to it, but back then it wasn't corny. It was like, woo, know. I mean, technology's changed, and now you have all the CGI. You got all this. That's what made Star Wars great, because they didn't use a lot of CGI. They used a lot of models and puppets, and I mean, just
the makeup work,
work to go into that was just amazing. Yeah. And to see that was just wow. It's like when and then everything else followed right behind it. Everybody followed that. Like when the Dark Crystal came out and all this other stuff. All these puppetry, and it was it was cool. Really cool times.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I really enjoyed episode 4.
Yeah. The Foundling.
The Foundling.
Foundling.
Which actually, we pointed out in episode 1 that Foundling never got to say the full.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because he got picked up and taken off.
The ceremony. During the ceremony.
But never mind. We'll go in there later.
They go back to the end. He eventually follows up with that, which is in the finale. But like before he gets attacked, like the whole covert gets attacked and everything, and then he gets captured again by the same dragon thing.
Yeah,
the bird.
The bird.
We'll call it the bird.
We'll call it the bird.
And then, but I thought that was cool seeing all the Mandalorians coming together and fighting it, and how I like how in this whole series or in the whole season that Bo-Katan really steps to the front, and it's more of like a Mandalorian Bo-Katan team up.
Yeah,
because she really just takes initiative in a lot of the episodes.
Well,
she's the leader.
She's the true leader. She's the true leader.
So
yeah.
she's always leading.
Her parents were she's royalty. So she's the Princess Leia of
the Mandalorians. Yeah. So that was cool.
Yeah.
And then next was episode 5, which is the pirate.
The pirates.
And we already kind
of the Pittsburgh Pirates. No skin. But I'm like, what the heck is this? I just didn't care for that one. I know that one got up really high. You said a high.
Yeah, I think just the critics
rating.
Gave it 100% just for that episode.
Yeah.
But I actually really did enjoy that episode. Like we were talking about how on Coruscant the New Republic wouldn't send out anybody to help, and we were talking about how the independent.
I kind of like that part. The story was
by the Empire.
like I said, I didn't hate it. Don't get me wrong, people. I just didn't care for the pirates, the
costumes,
whole costume, the way they looked. I just didn't, and then the captain when they looked like
he literally looked like a pirate, just like
he looked like I mean
like a normal guy.
Just
obviously,
I felt like I was watching Pirates of the Caribbean or something. I was like, what the heck is that? He kind of looked like remember Weird Science?
No.
You ever seen Weird Science?
No.
No? Okay. No.
You reminded me of the Flying Dutchman from SpongeBob.
Yeah, Flying Dutchman. You remind me of like
he's like green and everything too.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen when they turn his brother into a pile of poop, and then on that, and it was like,
no.
And that's what he looked like, and I was like, what the heck is that? He looked like that. Yeah, Weird Science. If you know what? After we're done, I'm gonna pull it up, and you're gonna laugh your ass off. Okay. So, I'm serious, man. You're gonna laugh. Oh my god.
But I thought it was cool when they were actually on the ground of the planet Navarro, and all the Mandalorians were fighting the pirates and everything. You just see it was just so cool throughout the whole season to see all the Mandalorians together.
Yeah,
and I
thought that was the coolest thing about this episode. I've been looking forward to seeing a bunch of Mandalorians and watching them fight.
Yeah,
because I was always intrigued by the Mandalorians, but they never really showed a lot. All we showed was Boba Fett, and they only showed like sips and pieces of what he would do, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
and it didn't do anything really in Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
he didn't do anything.
No. And they were always the coolest characters.
Yeah, and he was the coolest character, And I was telling you, like, when they first came out with Boba Fett back in the 70s, when they were promoting Star Wars, and he would walk alongside Darth Vader down the streets and stuff. They had parades and everything, Star Wars parades.
Which I looked up videos of that too, and I ended up seeing that. That was just insane.
He was the coolest looking dude in the world, man. I was like, dude, who's this? And then he didn't do anything.
Yeah,
they put him in there, and they just he was supposed to be this badass bounty hunter, and they didn't show his badass bounty hunter ways.
Yeah.
Like the Mandalorian. He's a badass bounty hunter.
Yeah.
When the Mandalorian season 1 came out, right away, right? That was the first episode.
Yeah.
He went into that bar and he cut that guy, remember? He cut him in half with the door.
Oh, yeah.
That was some cool. I said, I'm going to love this.
Yeah. The Mandalorian is
and that there made me, I was like, wow. I had to sit back and watch it. I was like, wow, this is going to be great. Mm-hmm. And then he was the only one for a while. And then he started meeting up with the other people. And I was like, oh, there's more. And then they did Boba Fett. And then it was like...
Until the Mandalorian came, and then it got good again.
It became Mandalorian. Yeah, that's all it did. But I was very, very disappointed with Boba Fett. That was just very disappointing to me. I just want to see more of him and more of his skills, more of his fighting. Mm-hmm. Even though he was a clone. Yeah. Oh well. Okay. Episode. Where are we?
That was pretty much all of episode 5. The pirates invaded Navarro.
Yeah.
Mandalorians came in because the New Republic wouldn't do anything. So that was cool. And then. We got episode 6, which was chapter 22, Guns for Hire.
Yep.
And that was okay. That was the one I didn't like at first because we were talking about the tones and how they were just clashing and didn't really work. Mm-hmm. That didn't really work for me personally. I actually want to know your guys' thought about that episode and what you thought of the cameos by Lizzo and Jack Black. I didn't personally care for that.
I didn't care for it. I didn't care for that whole episode. I mean, when it was over, I was glad it was over.
Me too. The only thing I liked is that the whole reason they went there, and obviously there's always something that happens that, diverts the typical plan just to go here. Mm-hmm. From point A to point B, there's always that one bump in the road that diverts them, and they have to do something else to get to the final point of the episode.
Yeah.
So that was okay. I thought it was cool seeing all the droids from the show. From the animated shows and everything. Mm-hmm. I thought it was cool seeing all those big droids. Remember when they're chasing them around the city? Yeah. That was really cool.
That was cool. And then I'm going to get off but I like seeing some of the old droids from New Hope.
Yeah,
that was crazy. When I'm watching Red come in, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is from New Hope. And I'm like, and seeing these droids that are still working.
Yeah,
they're actually still around. I'm like, that's a long time.
Oh yes, when they go in the bar area, and all the droids.
All the droids are looking and I'm sitting looking at the droids, going, "Oh my god, these are droids! Cool. These are old droids from way back." I'm like, I can point them out. I'm like, "Whoa!" And it just blew my mind. That they're all they're still, and he's using Red. Was he still call him Red?
I don't. Oh,
he calls him R2. What's his name? He's. I'll get it, guys. It'll come. They don't call him Red anymore. That's what Luke Skywalker called him. He called him Red. Remember, he said, "Come on, Red," because he didn't. Yeah, I wish somebody over here would click and tell me, because I can't remember the name of the. You got the computer right in front of you. Open another window right here. Yeah, so we can. That way we're not stumped on names anymore. So we got a computer in front of us. We're not even using it.
I don't know. What should I look up? Droid from. But then I like IG-11. I think that was the. That was the tall one, right? And then, are you talking about the
R2, the R2 unit? I don't know.
Doesn't give me. Oh, R5D4.
Yep.
That one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he's R5. Yep.
Yeah, R5.
He's an R5. He's not a D2. He's an R2. He's a D5. See, they look different. R2, D2 looks different.
Heads.
Yep.
Different. Yeah.
Yep. And he was in New Hope.
Yeah, there he is, right here, right there, and it shows him in. I don't know if you want to pull it up real quick.
Yep, I'm in R2. I can pull it up. Hold on, people. There we go.
That way you can see what we're talking about. The droids here. Yep. So okay, that's cool.
Yep.
And that's the same droid that we see. Oops. In the mid. I don't know what I did. But that's the same droid right here. Mm-hmm. So everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah. That's great.
That's cool.
Awesome. See, we got a computer right in front of us, and we're like the whole time. That's okay though. It's been a while. We're a little rusty.
Definitely first video back on. In
First
like
video,
months.
yeah.
Since December.
Since December, yeah. We've been away for a while, guys. We got a lot to do. We got a lot of movies, and we got a lot of reviews because we've seen a lot of movies. And this week is a really good one coming out.
Yeah.
So, well, today it actually came out.
Yep. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. All the droids in that episode, which you're on episode 6, right? And then I enjoyed too at the end of that episode, how Bo-Katan was like reclaiming her clan that left her when she lost the Darksaber.
And she lost, and she actually won it. And
yeah, because she won it.
I didn't even think about that. Because he took it and he saved his life with it. And
from episode 2, right?
Yep.
Where the Mandalorian gets captured, he gets defeated by that creature we were talking about, the one eye. And then Bo-Katan used the Darksaber and defeats that enemy.
That enemy, and
which
then
technically means
she won the fight. She's the owner of the black saber.
Yep. So that was cool. I didn't think of that either until
until after when he said it, and I was like, huh? I was like, that makes sense. That makes sense. And
I think that brings me. I don't know if it was this episode or episode 7, but that I think brings me to my favorite point is where the two different factions of the Mandalorians meet each other. Yeah. And they just kind of look at each other and they don't say a word. And they're like, because one faction can take their helmets off, one can't. They have two different views. Yeah.
Yeah, they were sworn enemies. Yeah. So they couldn't.
And it was cool how they were just like, looking at each other. Like it felt like you really felt the tension. Like there was just like Mandalorian war about to happen right now, like a civil war, So that was cool. I think that was where this season really vamped up for me.
Yeah, it did. It did. That's when it really like got better because then when you brought all the Mandalorians together and you brought the two factions together and that was just amazing. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Oh, and I'm gonna say we can dive right into 7 now because I can't remember if it was 6 or 7 where they finally figured out that Moff Gideon's ship has been intercepted and he never made it to trial. So, remember that?
I'm trying to remember which episode it was.
The guy in the cruiser.
The guy in the cruiser.
Yeah, he was like looking. He's like,
that was Moff Gideon's ship. It looked like Mandalorians did it.
Yeah, and he's like, looks like Mandalorians did it, which is cool. Like,
but it wasn't Mandalorians. It was actually his clones.
Yeah. Which those are commandos, something commandos. Yeah, like something commandos, which are.
See, they're all new to me. Yeah, super commandos,
something like that.
But they're all of him, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what I was. I don't think so. Actually, I take that back. I think they're just a troop, like they're like his troops, and I think. Well, all right. So 7, we're introduced to Moff Gideon. Everybody, that's the big reveal. Moff Gideon never made it to trial, and he has a base on Mandalore. And he has like his Imperial base there, which is pretty crazy. And I don't think those were his clones. I guess we can cover 7 and 8 because they go hand in hand. They literally go right into the other. So I think those were just his troops, like his troopers that were there to protect him. Because, like he said, those clones in the chambers had the Force in them.
Had the Force in
them.
And
none of these troopers did. So I think I took that back once I realized that.
So that's what he was trying to get when he wanted the baby.
Yeah, he wanted the clone to get the Force out of him. He wanted
the Force out of him. So he did get it? Did he get the Force out of it? Did he
I think he did. I think he did end up getting the blood, but I think the Mandalorian stopped him before he could use it.
This could go deep, dude. Wow. This really could. This could really go deep. This could go like you have like true Jedi fighting,
like clone Jedi.
Clone Jedis.
That would be pretty
Jeez.
Cool. But he said that was like he's like you smothered them before they could even take their first breath. So I think he destroyed all the clones.
Hope so.
I hope so too, because that would be some pretty crazy stuff.
Unless he's one of them.
Yeah.
Like I said, I could have been a clone. I don't know.
I don't think he was a clone, but I think you're right. I don't think he died. I don't think
he died. I mean, I know it's a theory, guys. I know
it's just a theory.
Yeah. So I'm just going to throw it out there. I mean, there was a lot of things I thought were going on. So we were talking about it. So.
Yeah. Well, you did have an interesting theory.
Yeah.
And you can tell that, actually. I don't want to.
Oh, that's all right. No, but it didn't work. So,
well, the theory was, I'll just put it out there because I thought it was interesting, and you had me like I was like on board with you, thinking that the armor was working with Moff Gideon, because she disappeared and then she didn't come back into the last second, and then his helmet kind of looked similar, had like the similar, horn little thing,
similar horns and everything.
It just like really matched up, like the armor leading them to Mandalore, and then they get ambushed right after. It was just so coincidental. So I thought that was a really good theory, but it was just theory, so it didn't work out, but that's all right. And I thought it was cool when she was messing people up, though. When like all the Mandalorians, like when they got all the Mandalorians like reinforcements, and they got them off the ships and everything, and they were all coming down, and they were fighting
that was great.
Whew. That last episode was like off the charts. That was like my favorite episode.
Their armor's like bang, hitting people with
like
freaking
got the
hammers.
And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're fighters, man. They're fighters. They're some of the best warriors. Why you want to get rid of them? Because they're so good at fighting. Yeah, they fight Jedi. They can fight a Jedi. You know, and because they had all these little tricks and. Things they could do, it's just amazing, just amazing group of people. And I was like, wow, I'm glad they introduced them finally to Star Wars. Yeah. And a lot of people still like, oh, Disney. But I liked it, and I'm a big Star Wars fan. Stop crying, people.
I really enjoyed that last episode. Especially, I think one of the coolest moments is when you have the R5 droid opening the doors. Yeah. And you have the Mandalorian. It's like getting to the boss fight. You're going through each stage, getting a little bit harder. You know what? I liked it because remember when I looked at you and I said, now this is Star Wars. See how they were. Because you look, remember R2 did the same thing. He was inside there and he was turning opening doors. In New Hope, and he did it in Death Star. Yeah, he was like doing the same thing, and I was watching a lot of it. I'm going, this now we're looking like Star Wars now. And then that little battle they had with the ships, and they were fighting. It just looked so Star Wars. That was sick when all the ships, the Imperial ships, were dropping and then just like taking off.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, I love this. This now, that's what I loved about that episode. I was just stuck. I was like, wow.
I think that was my favorite episode, like you said, throughout the whole series in general. Yeah. Like, I don't think it's my favorite season, but I think that was my favorite episode out of like the whole series, like 1 through 3. That was just an amazing episode. And Moff Gideon was awesome. I thought he was, Juan Carlo Esposito. I think he's just like such a menacing character. Like he's such a good actor, and he like always plays the bad guy, and he's always so menacing. And it's really cool because he fits the role. Yeah. And I've seen, not to get off topic, but I've seen like him fan cast for like Doctor Doom. I wouldn't mind that. That would be cool. Really? That'd be cool. Yeah. Okay. Just a fan cast. Someone just throwing it out there, Yep. But that was cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I like but I thought his suit was cool. I liked his suit.
You liked it?
Yeah, like how he had the helmet and everything. Like how he was. Do you want to bring up your theory about how you thought he was a Mandalorian previously?
Yeah, I still think that. I think he was probably.
I think
because those guys fought like Mandalorians.
Yeah.
So I think he was probably part of that, or another part of, maybe not that faction, but he was probably part of. He was a Mandalorian because he fought like a Mandalorian. I mean, he was throwing ropes and flames, and I'm like.
And he knows them, like, inside and out. And, like, why would he be building his base on Mandalore? Yep. He destroyed it. You pointed that out, too.
Yep, and he knew Mandalore. And then, it's just, I don't know, it just made sense. That's why I think this is not over.
Too much history of Bo-Katan.
Yeah, I think a lot of things weren't being said. There's a lot of secrets and, and how he took over and everybody kind of, like, just folded up and said, I got to go. Why would he, Yeah. And then he continued, even when the Empire dissolved, he still continued to chase them. Yeah. And try to, you know what I mean? Even though everything was done. Yeah. Darth Vader's gone and everything else is gone and Death Stars are blown up and the second one. Yeah. Luke Skywalker he's still walking around. What the heck, man? Jeez. But I'm just, it was just weird. It was just, just
but
weird.
I like that theory, and like I didn't think about that before you said all that, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
And I know episode 7, The Spies, which we meet more Mandalorians there on Mandalore before the big battle and everything that were like actually living on Mandalore through the fallout and everything, which was really cool. But that also sets up a little stuff for the future for Ahsoka because they were mentioning Grand Admiral Thrawn's return.
Yeah.
And we don't see him in this show, but they mention him, and I know he's supposed to be one of the big bads for the Ahsoka show. in August. So that's gonna be cool.
Cool. This is gonna be awesome. So yep, that's what we get now. Now we're done with all of it. That's
like that last one.
And now we got to move on to some new stuff too coming out, and just crazy. It's because Star Wars is putting out a lot of new content.
Yeah, they are.
And I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it, everyone.
Yeah.
Man, half hour in, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
We went through all that.
We didn't touch everything, obviously.
Yeah, we didn't touch everything.
Like,
We're just giving our opinion, and that's all,
Yeah, but throw your opinions out on like what you thought of the episodes or the series or the season overall and everything.
Yeah.
Because I really like to hear the opinions of you guys. And
give us the name of the bird.
Yeah, the bird. The bird and those little cave creatures
little
on
cave
Mandalore.
creatures. What were they called? It's like, trying to keep up with all the names of everything. Every
so
little
many
thing.
different
See, it's
species,
amazing. Like some people, super diehard and will remember every little.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
not. I like Star Wars.
I mean, I love Star Wars, and I can't even do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be, geez, I love Star Wars, and but like I said, a lot of people complaining. Disney, and I read what I read one time. Somebody had wrote, "Stop complaining, people. If you don't like it, go watch Star Trek." I was like dying. I was like, "What?" I like both, so I'm a big Star Trek fan, and I like Star Wars. So it was too funny.
Yeah. So at the end, we didn't even touch on the end of the last episode. So they are rebuilding Mandalore. And they reignited the forge.
Yeah, they relit the
and
forge.
The armor is there, and Bo-Katan reunited the two factions, and now they're going to start rebuilding. So I think that is a huge I think that's a huge step for the Mandalorians, because I have another thought on top of that. But that is just going to start seeing more Mandalorians, hopefully, like you said, in the future of the Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Like in Rey's era and everything, we start seeing more Mandalorians popping in and out of the movies, which I know there is a movie coming out in the future that's going to be set around the Mandalorians.
Okay.
Which will be cool. But also now it's a big thing too, because Grogu is now Din Grogu.
Yeah.
And he's now a Jedi that's Mandalorian.
Yep.
And there's one other person that became a Mandalorian while he was a Jedi. I forgot his name.
I forgot his name. I don't know his name. John.
Well, it's in the books, I believe.
Yeah, I know, in the books. Yeah.
Mandalorian.
But that's cool.
Jedi.
That's dangerous, man.
It is,
to be a Jedi in the Mandalorian.
And now that it's Yoda's species, Mandalorian. It's the fourth sense of human. Oh, why doesn't it tell his name? Oh, Tar Vizsla.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that. Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
Which is awesome. So
that's awesome. Yep.
That's so. Yeah. Now we're getting like a second generation of that, or like a second adaptation, or
Yep.
You know what I'm trying to say there.
I know
but
what you're saying. Yep.
That's going to be really cool.
Lightsaber. That's pretty cool.
And he's a Mandalorian.
Yeah, I like that.
So now Grogu could be the second.
It's on YouTube.
It's just
a YouTube channel.
But that would be really cool. So that's cool that sets that up for the future too. And hopefully with the remaining Jedi, we start seeing them fight alongside each other again, like we did in the past.
Yep.
So very big implications for the future.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, when will we see? Will there be a Mandalorian season 4? Some of my remaining questions: will there be Mandalorian season 4? Because I haven't heard any news yet.
No.
Will the Mandalorians pop up in the future, and what will that look like? And will Moff Gideon return? Who knows?
Yeah,
it's like,
maybe he might show up in a Rey movie. Because the Rey movie is supposed to be like another 15 years, 20 years, something like that.
Yeah, it's like going to be set 15 years after Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, Jesus!
So she'll be
so
older.
we're looking like at 30 years from
Yeah,
it'd be like 30 years later, right?
Yeah.
40,
Yeah, probably longer than that, because it's
Longer
already
than
15 years after.
So it's 15 years
Return of the
here,
Jedi.
and then
I don't know how much time passed between Force Awakens and the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
a
sure.
lot. Yeah, because I forget that Luke is like old man.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So we're talking 40 years maybe.
Yeah. So hopefully, if we do see the Mandalorians in the future, I hope that we see an older version of Grogu.
I think that's what I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
And see how far
I would like to see his origin. I would like to see where he came from, because we were talking about that too when he was rescued.
Yeah.
And what was the Jedi that rescued him? I know. I'm gonna brain freeze too.
But
we both we're both like
using the force.
Use the force.
But fun fact, I know we had talked about this, but the same actor that played the Jedi that saved Grogu was the same guy who played Jar Jar Binks in the originals.
Oh
and
God,
the
I hate that freaking Jar Jar Binks. Goodness gracious, I can't get past that movie. I can't. I cringe every time I watch it. I like to watch all the Star Wars sometimes, and that's when I always cringe. It's like,
yeah,
they had to put that freaking thing in there. That room. They should redo the whole thing and just take him out all the parts and put a new person in there. They can digitally do that shit now.
Yeah,
you know, instead of putting put something else in there. Because he's horrible.
Jar Jar Binks.
He's horrible. Yeah, I don't know. He's not even a collectible. Is he? I don't know. I don't have one here, so I don't know. Okay, what was his name? Jedi Master Keller. What's his name?
Keller and Beck. Yeah,
Keller and Beck. Yeah. So he saved the foundling. So with Grogu, Grogu, right? Grogu, and so I'm like, we were talking, like, so Grogu knew Yoda.
Yeah, he must have then. Yeah, he had to.
Because remember when I think Luke was like mentioning, you remind me of my Master Yoda.
Yeah.
And his ears kind of like looked at him like, yeah, I know Yoda, like kind of like that look. Because he was one of the kids that were being
attacked
by Annie. And so remember we were talking about it. I'm like, so who could be his could he have parents? Dude, I don't know. I mean, Yaddle, Yoda. There was another. Who was the other one?
I think that was it.
I think there were three of them, and one died.
I don't remember the other one.
There were three.
I didn't know there was three.
Yeah, that's from Yoda, Yaddle, and I think it was three of them. Okay, the older Yoda said. So I know these people out here are gonna go, yeah, it was this one, that one, and this one.
Yeah.
But I think there were more than.
So there's Yoda. Yoda species. Okay. Notable members. Yoda's.
Yep. Okay.
Two other Yaddle and Vander.
Yeah, I told you.
Dooker. Yeah. So there's two. Yeah, there's two other ones besides him.
Yep.
Which was.
And I believe he was killed. Was it Yaddle who was killed, or was it Yaddle killed?
Must have been Yaddle. This looks like... I don't think he showed up in the movies, though. I think Yaddle was in, like, a deleted scene or something like that.
Yeah. Well, okay. I thought, I know. Well, I could be off. People can be going, you're talking shit, Carlo. and I'm sorry.
Like I said, I don't...
I lost track a little bit on all those animated ones.
Yeah.
So I didn't really get into those, and I got to just dig down and just sit on my butt on a couch and go through it. I didn't even finish Bad Batch, so I got to finish that too. Because I heard that's pretty good.
Yep, that was good. And it takes place around Order 66 or right after that.
Yep,
so.
Order 66. So all this stuff blends in, so it's good. I got to watch it all. So it's all just that. I can see why people get frustrated with Star Wars because it's just so much information.
And they keep adding more stuff in all the time.
Yeah,
it's
so it's hard to keep track of it, and get all get your story straight and stuff like that.
But then Grogu also he talks to the Mythosaur at the end too, which is cool.
That's
which
right.
I think that really signifies the blend that he will be a little bit of both. He's going to be both.
He's going to be super powerful.
He's going to be like
I think so. Insane. He's going to be like another Yoda. He's going to be very powerful. It's going to be like because he's doing stuff at a young age that Yoda used to fall asleep. He would use so much energy, he'd fall asleep. It's like
just because they're so like small beings,
Yeah,
but like
they take up a lot of energy.
Yeah, they just take up so much energy, cause exhaustion on their body. But and even Baby Yoda does that too. He'll be like,
that's right,
do something big, and then he'll be like,
he falls
asleep.
Yeah, because it takes too much out of him. Oh, that's pretty cool though. I like that. I was like, but when they saved him and I was watching, I'm like, oh my god, so he knew Yoda. So there was more than one species then on that planet.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just a Yaddle and
it was that's
and Yoda and it was so it had to be in Grogu and so there was more. That's crazy. I was like, wow. I want to go deeper because I know they're going to be doing a Star Wars where they say they're like the first Jedi ever.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the movies. Yeah,
and they're supposed to go how many years back? I forget, 1,000 years back.
I don't know. As far as the first Jedi, I don't know how many years that is.
I don't know. Yoda was like 800.
Yeah,
was he 800?
Yeah, he
right?
was like 800 something. Yeah. It's crazy.
So Yoda's going to probably be one of the students of that first Jedi.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the origin of Yoda. I'd like to see where his species comes from because nobody has no freaking clue where they come from.
Actually, I agree to a certain extent. I would like to see an origin of Yoda, but to like a certain degree. I don't want to know where he's from.
You don't want to know?
I don't want to know where he's from. I just want him to kind of be like Grogu, and he's like kind of just there.
Okay.
And then
I can understand that.
And then I just want to be able to see Yoda grow and then go into his prime. But I don't want to see his parents, where he comes from, a whole planet of Yoda, because I think that's what makes Yoda intriguing.
Yeah.
Is the mystery, the very little information we have on him is what makes him this awesome character. And then just knowing how powerful he is, like, just imagine a whole planet Yodas. Like, it's just cool to have that imagination.
I couldn't imagine that. Whole planet Yodas. But they're so rare.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that his species is very rare. So how do they pop up from a plant or
Yeah. But I think that's cool. You could pop up from a plant. He could like come from an asteroid. Who knows?
Yeah. It's like something in just a certain mixture of chemicals, and you got a Yoda.
Yeah, you got a Yoda.
I don't know, man. That's what I want. I want to know how this species.
You got a Yoda.
Yeah, you're right. It's good to have that mystery, that mystified. Every time you watch a Yoda, what are they called?
I don't know.
Are they called Yodas?
what
They don't have a name.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they even have a name with what they are. We call them Yodas because Yoda's the first one we were introduced to. So
species, Yoda species.
Yoda species. See, yeah, Yodas.
Yeah, so they don't have like an official name.
They're all male.
Gender male. No, I think that's just Yoda. Grogu. Nicknames.
Grogu.
Oh, so okay, this is going off Grogu. I just said what is the name of Yoda species. Grogu popped up, and it just says Yoda species. So he doesn't have They don't have like an official species. Have a name.
Species name. Yoda's never got name.
Yoda species never got a name.
Huh.
Interesting.
Interesting, guys. Wow. See, we
don't even. It says we don't even know what their home planet is.
But no, that's why I said nobody knows where they come from. They're so rare, and they just pop out of nowhere. They just come out of nowhere. They must be born from the Force.
That would be cool. That'd be cool.
I never thought of that.
I guess we're gonna have to see. Maybe, I don't know.
Born from the Force. On the Force. So was checking out other people.
Yes.
Well, we had a pretty good following for a second, huh? Oh, that's cool. Yep. All right, man. I don't know
overall,
what else.
No. Yeah. I think overall this season was good. Wasn't my favorite season. If I had to rank this season, I'd probably put it like second. I think it would be third for me, actually. I think it's gonna go. I think it'll go right in order. I think it's gonna go 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
For me, like I liked the first season the most, and then the third season the least. But I still loved it. I just didn't care for certain episodes.
I got to say, I loved it all. I just had a couple of nitpicky things, but other than that, I loved it. I loved it all. I loved it from the time it started. I was looking forward to this season. I liked it. I like where we went with it. I like how they ended it. I like, I liked everything about it.
Yeah,
everything about all the seasons so far. I mean, it wasn't a season where it was. I mean, he even saved Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Jeez, and that was horrible. I'm sorry, people. I love Boba Fett, but that was a bad. Whoever put that together oh my goodness! But when they brought in the Mandalorian and just it just fixed it, and it was like everybody kind of got back in the seat and go, here we go. Now this is a show.
Yeah,
and it was and I think the Mandalorian came out right after that. I think after that, it was like soon after we seen the Mandalorian, and it was like it's like okay. But it was just a book of Boba Fett. It wasn't even supposed to be like something that supposed to be last. Like wasn't supposed to go for 2-3 episodes, 2-3 seasons or 4 seasons.
No, yeah,
long.
it was just
only supposed to be one off and gone. Because people just. I think if it was popular, people would have went, okay, we're gonna do another season.
Yeah,
but it just wasn't.
I think that's how the Mandalorian was supposed to be.
Yeah,
I think the Mandalorian was supposed to be like a one and done.
And
then it just got so much popularity, and it's like
they did a good job with it.
Yeah,
it was Star Wars from the get go. I was like, whoa, I like Obi-Wan, loved it. I don't care. Only thing I didn't care about with Obi-Wan was Princess Leia.
Yeah,
I just didn't. I don't understand if that fit too well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Even though Princess Leia crying and shit, because
Yeah,
it didn't fit well with me. I mean, remember when she was on the ship in New Hope, and she says, you helped my father with the Clone Wars and blah 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 blah, right? And it's almost like she says she didn't say you helped me when I was a little girl. She knew it was Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
didn't she?
I don't know. It's been a while. I gotta rewatch it.
I have to rewatch it, but people got to remind me. But I think she knew at the end he was Obi-Wan, or maybe when she should have noticed him when she seen him. Oh, hey, I remember you, or whatever.
I don't remember honestly. Not sure.
But I just didn't think that part there. I just didn't think that part with her. I liked the little girl; she did well. Don't get me wrong, but just having Princess Leia. Playing in that part, I didn't mind seeing a young Leia. That was awesome seeing a young Leia, But maybe this one we'll see a teenage Leia.
Yeah. Yep.
But are they coming out with another season, or are they?
Not right now.
Yeah, I don't think they've really talked about that.
No.
They may say no, because that was the best battle ever with him and Vader.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was awesome. They were moving some shit, boy. They were stopping starships.
That was cool. Yeah.
Two powerful Jedis, two of the most powerful Jedis, at that time. Because all the Jedi were gone. Yeah. They were very rare. You couldn't find a Jedi. All hiding, or they just were all gone, all dead.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hopefully they come out another season of Mandalorian.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope they did. I want to see more Star Wars. I really do. I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I like to see more. I like to see where they're gonna go with it.
Yeah.
Just don't go crazy. Don't do anything stupid, and just don't crazy. I mean, I even liked Andor. I mean, it was Andor, right? Yeah, Andor. I love that too. You haven't watched that, right?
Nope.
Yeah,
No,
you didn't finish it.
No.
Yeah, it kind of like, I mean, yeah, it's old story. It kind of everybody knows where it's going to end up because we all seen what happens to them. But to watch the Empire actually growing, it was that's what got me in. When they're building the Death Star, I'm like, holy shit! And they showed the ending of the credits, which they never do on those Disneys, and they showed building, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna get good. You're gonna see a young Vader again, probably, and maybe we might see a Princess Leia in the next one.
Maybe.
Because they got the rebels. This is when the rebels start to grow. So I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to see that. I'm going to see what happens with Andor. Hope they do it.
Yeah.
Really do. So.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I know. I ain't got nothing else. I can sit and talk Star Wars all day, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna. It's been almost an hour we've been on here, Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this up, everyone. So, and thank you for sitting here and letting us blab. And sorry if we mixed up a few things, but we enjoyed the show, and we just wanted to get on and get back into the swing of things. And so, like I said, thank you so much for coming on and listening to us, and we'll be back because we're gonna go see another movie probably this week. And what was it coming out?
Evil Dead Rise.
Evil Dead Rise comes out. Ooh. So hopefully you'll see us again in here doing an Evil Dead Rise. All righty. So this is Field of Flow. I'm Carlo Francesco,
and I'm Ethan,
and we are out of here.